So by her feeling some type of way about losing her kids, that caused her to please herself several times that day, which I thought was weird.
Yeah.
But she was like, I'm really raw right now, and I need to be, whatever. I need to be near somebody, whatever. So I was like, yeah, come through. What I'm saying? If that's traditional or not.
We're gonna get there, but before we get there, I want to ask you though, because there's been some things happening here in the recent years, different movements and things of that nature, that probably has put a lot of stress on dating. Do you think that has anything to do with men not being so willing to date? I'm not gonna say men are not willing to date. Are men some more like you, or more like the women saying they don't require it? What's more?
What do you mean? Because I think I got a story for you. What do you mean by that?
Are you saying that they're not they're afraid to approach? Because that was one of the things that Mr. Haga, Corey Haga,
Are you talking about the Me Too stuff? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I just don't like to call out people.
I'll give you. No. You didn't want to call that because of the algorithm? What?
Yeah, you know how people are always, all these things that say it's a lot happening lately. I was on this has nothing to do with what we're doing, but I was on a live the other night, and I'm telling you, they cut that live in the middle of it. They shut it down in the middle.
Oh, you talking about Bolo?
Yes, in the middle. I was like, so that was shocking. And then, the little piece yesterday. So I'm just like, okay, y'all, let's just have some conversations without having conversations.
We got you.
Yeah, because we want to still talk about what we want to talk about. So yes, JR, go ahead and answer that question for me.
I think I kind of heard about what happened with. I didn't hear. I just saw a post, something about live getting cut, but I guess we'll talk about that later. I had a situation, and I think I talked about this on one of my videos like years ago. This had to have happened in like 2016 or something like that. And I met this girl on online, and we went out, and she paid for the drinks and everything. And that's when I was just learning this stuff about dating and all this stuff, because I've been out of the game for so long. So I played it cool. I was trying to see her or whatever. She was just like, oh, da, da, da. So she was like standoffish. So I just left her alone. So one night I either I got a call or I got a text, and she was like, hey, what are you doing? I was like, nothing much. This was probably after like months of not hearing from her. She was like, hey, what are you doing or whatever? And I'm like, oh, nothing much, just whatever. She was like, do you mind if I come over? She was like, I'm really raw right now. And I was like, what do you mean by that? And I'm going to try to keep this as PG as possible.
Yeah.
She's like, keep in mind, like I said, I haven't talked to this one. I was never intimate with her or anything. She was like, and has she been to my house? She had never been to my house. So she's like, I'm really raw right now. And I'm like, and she was like, yeah, because I think she was going to like some she was in pre-med or something. So her kids, like her husband was in her ex-husband, excuse me, was in like the Navy, and he relocated, and she had 2 kids, but because she was going to college, he was keeping them or whatever. So she kind of like passed them off to him so she could like do school or whatever. And this is really like my life's like a movie. That's why I say like a lot. If you go back on all my old stuff, you'll see like this dude he's probably lying, man. All the stuff he be saying. So
no, you're real.
So so she's like, yeah, I just got through. I'll go ahead and say it. I don't think they're gonna. I'll go ahead and say it. I don't think they're gonna. She said, I just got through pleasing myself like 7 times today. And I don't know, like a woman's mind, as I've been learning, like I'm a fan of the female mind, and what are certain triggers, and why women do certain things, and loss, and depression, and all this stuff that I've learned throughout the years that cause women to do certain things. So by her feeling some type of way about losing her kids, that caused her to please herself several times that day, which I thought was weird.
Yeah.
But she was like, I'm really raw right now, and I need to be, whatever. I need to be near somebody, whatever. So I was like, yeah, come through. Come through. Say less, right? So she comes over, we're talking. I don't even think we even had any drinks. I think we probably had a beer. She probably had like a beer or whatever. And she was like, "Can I stay here tonight?" And I was like, "Yo, yeah, by all means." We were already in my bedroom at this time anyway. So I was like, "Yeah, sure." She hops up in the bed or whatever. So I'm like, "Okay, well, women, if you get in a man's bed, you should know what time it is. It's
Right. Exactly.
it's a no-brainer. Same thing with men. If a woman invites you into her bed,
Yep.
you know what time it is. You need
Yeah.
to, don't sit there, because I made that mistake as well, as far as trying to be the good guy. Anyway, she gets in my bed. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess she, whatever, She just told me all this stuff that she just did. So I guess,
Right. She wants you to service her.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the type of time I was on. Common sense,
Right.
anybody would be on that type of time.
Okay.
So I get in bed, and we're spooning, if you will, and I go for my move, and she moves her hand. She moves my hand, right? And then I'm like, okay. So I go, as we're talking or whatever, I go for my move again. She moves my hand. And I'm just like, and what I should have did, I should have just told her to get up out of my house at that time.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? If knowing what I know now, I'd have been like, yo, you need to I don't think this is working. I don't know what's going on here. You need to get lost. So she spent the night or whatever. Everything was, whatever. So because I left it alone. She spent the night. The next morning, she was like, next time I see you, I'm gonna do da 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 da. So, and I'm sorry I'm stretching this out so long. So later on that day, I didn't hear anything from her, and I was like, "Yo, is everything okay? I'm just checking on you, making sure everything is okay." She sends me this long ass text message. I can't believe you're a creep. You're a creepy groper. She called me a creepy groper. You're a creepy groper. Blah 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 blah. I actually called my ex-husband and told him about you and what you did and all this stuff like that. And I can't believe I felt totally violated when I left your house. I don't know. I stood, and I'm just like,
wow.
I'm like, huh? I'm like, bruh. I'm like, and all type of scenarios is playing through my mind. Like, this woman might try to me too me or some shit.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, this is some crazy stuff. Just hearing her say this, I'm like, is she serious? And I'm reading the text message. I probably still got it on my phone somewhere. I'm reading the text message. I'm just like, you trying to play me like I'm a creep? And I'm just like, so I texted her back. I said, I didn't. You invited yourself to my house. You got in my bed, and nobody had any intention of doing anything. Creepy groper, some pervert stuff. So I talked to my man about it. He was like, yo, yeah, she was bugged. He was like, that had nothing to do with you or whatever. He's like, you just be running into some crazy women. And I was like, man, so I had anxiety because I was like, what if she tries to say like I assaulted her or some dumb stuff like that? He was like, yo, chill out, man. And I had looked her up and come to find out she had like a foundation for like women that were assaulted, because I guess when she was younger, she was assaulted or whatever, right? And that's one of my things. I'm attracted to women without me knowing. I'm attracted to women who've been assaulted, and I guess based on statistics, one out of every 4 women have been assaulted. So, but for some reason, every woman I seem to shoot my shot at ends up telling me their story that they've been assaulted. And I'm just like, well, how do I mean, it's not their fault, but I'm like, how do I always end up attracted to women who've been assaulted. You know what I mean? So that in itself was just like, it bothered me for a few days. I'm just like, what if she actually tries this? So like, anyway, and I'm gonna finish this up right now. I think like a year or two later, she sends me a message on Facebook. Hey, what's up? How are you? Or something like that. And I was just like, man, I didn't even respond to that.
No.
I'm just like, yeah, but that was my whatchamacallit moment right there.
Yeah, that's scary. That's I'm not a man, and I my heart would have dropped for you.
Hold on for a minute. Hello, TJ. How are you? And she makes a comment. Why would she share such personal sexual information before coming to your house? That's the part that scares me. It almost sounds like it was a setup, and you actually acted appropriately, because if you would have done something different, I do think she would have went farther.
Yeah.
I definitely.
I like the way she said it. I never heard a woman say that to me. So I was just like, yo, you trying to come over? She was like, she trying to come over. So I'm just like, okay, we both know what time it is. You trying to come over after you just said some shit like that. So hey, and then you come with that. So I was totally befuddled.
But you know what? No, after her saying that and saying also that she pleased herself, it would seem to me that she wouldn't even need you for that purpose. So
no, she needed him to
the ways of the woman. The ways of the woman are strange.
They're very strange, because she's, those words that she used were, that seemed like to me you would be done for at least a day or two. But again, you say the ways of women are strange. I don't know.
I mean, but women. I think the women who tend to have gone through those experiences are, I don't know if the term is hypersexualized or whatever, but
but everyone has a different sex drive. So whether like I said, whether she needed him to finish her off, that's neither here nor there. My question really to JR is, at that time with this woman, you were not looking to be with her like long term, right? She was just how would you say
this was just a woman on was it blackpeoplemeet.com or some shit like that, some stuff like that. And
no, I was saying, so she was just someone you was just killing time with. That's what I mean.
We weren't even communicating. Let's put it in perspective. I hadn't talked to this woman probably, I want to say it was like 6-7 months, maybe longer at this point. So we had no communication at this point. This was just out of the blue.
Yeah.
Right. This is just out of the blue. And we as men, we need to have more. And I always advise myself first, we need to be more protective of ourselves in terms of people that show up out of the blue, instead of just, giving in to like, okay, this is just some easy ass at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it comes with some bull like that. So yeah, I definitely, learned my lesson from that. And it's never anything in terms of pressure. Hey, if that's what it is, hey, yo, you gotta go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not trying to do anything like that. Like, yo, it's hands off. Not hands. When I say hands off, I don't mean literally. Yo, it's hey, we don't. There's nothing else to discuss here. You know what I'm saying at this point. So
you know what? There was another young man, Jedi, in the chat. He says the same thing happened to him.
Oh, wow.
In his dorm. He said the same thing happened to him in his dorm room. So you guys, when you come in, make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button. And also you're subscribing to JR Wisdom and call that over the top.
It's God's beat maker.
And I don't know. I will put a light in the sky for the G's that done turn memory from go. Blessings we send to the ghetto youth.